years ago, we had a faculty member, a guy named David Wright, and David retired. And Mary built a little PowerPoint presentation or a set of slides or whatever from images from David's career, and with that ran the soundtrack to the Green Day song. How's the song go? I hope you had the time of your life, or whatever that is. But it was the most touching thing. It was the greatest tribute to a guy that had spent a lot of years on our campus.
Fast forward to today. The entire college has been diligently working to recognize another faculty member who has impacted the lives of so many people here at Western, Dr. Mary Bucy. Over the past 6 months, Q-Loop has been creating a video for Mary, all while telling her that we are making a hiking awareness video. Mary, this video is about recognizing the impact you've had on this university and all of its students. Enjoy.
So if you were to meet somebody and they were like, who's this Mary Bucy human? How would you describe her?
They would need to go get a Marvel comic and flip to like one of the superheroes in there, and I'd say, that's Mary Bucy. Is she Iron Man? Sure. Is she, I'm mixing up my genre here. Is she Wonder Woman? Oh, that's not in the Marvel world, but absolutely. She has so many superpowers that I'd say, yeah, go to a comic book and start flipping around, and that's how you can describe Mary Bucy. When I came here, I was very much the new guy, the low man on the totem pole, but Mary always had this very diplomatic way of making my opinions and whatever kind of nonsense came trickling out of my mouth seem very appreciated and very valuable. If you've spent any time working with Mary at all, you know that she's very democratically minded, and she always wants to go out of her way to meet with everyone and get everyone's input. And it's really refreshing.
With Mary, it's a very equal relationship, I felt. And she respected students, and if you have any questions, she had no trouble answering. If you have different opinions or different suggestions on things, she's always very respectful and really take that to heart and think about those things and work those into her lessons.
I value Mary's perspective. I value her sense of humor and her fun-loving nature. I value that she always is willing to lend an ear and to talk through whatever it is that you're going through or whatever experience you're having.
So big thing, and honestly is one of the reasons I actually decided to go to WU for my graduate school, is that she was just so responsive. Like, I would email her and then she would get back to me within an hour. And she was always going out of her way to solve problems that, were my problems. They weren't necessarily her responsibility, but she would, put me in contact with the right people or forward the message and say, hey, can you work this out for Amy?
She's the kind of person you'd want as a friend, right? And I feel fortunate that Mary and I are friends, but she just has those kind of characteristics that a person you want to be around, right? She's positive, upbeat, smart. I always learn stuff when I'm with her, not just about technology, but she's just wise in a lot of areas.
Mary has modeled what it means to value people. And I think a lot of times it's really easy to work the facts of the problem, see the world through a budget. Mary taught me to make sure to always value the people. There are people behind those things too. And that matters. That's an important lesson.
Yeah. How would you describe Mary to someone who has never met her?
Oh, if you've never met Mary, I think Mary will sneak up on you. You have to watch out for Mary. She's very smart, taking it all in, and when you least expect it, she's going to come up with some sort of witty zinger. She's very clever. Mary's funny. That's how I would describe her to people.
So we both got hit in the head within, a couple days of each other in October, and then we both started having some symptoms pop back up shortly after the new year. And one of her comments to me is that, a TBI is really not a competitive event, and it seems like we were both.
The first time I met Mary was in my GA interview, and we'd finished the interview and she looked at my shirt and she told me that it was a popular pattern in interior design right now, which I just thought was kind of humorous.
A funny Mary Bucy story. I think what's funny for me is the relationship that she has. Let's just name names here. The relationship that she has with Dr. Zobel is almost like a mother and a very precocious child, and the way that the two of them have managed to work together with a complete different personality set. On the one hand is a very passionate, very fiery tempered, young academic. On the other hand is this very wise, wizened, knows how to work the system. And the two of them together in faculty meetings, or even just when we meet, in coffee shops and in third-party places, the two of them and how they go round is absolutely fascinating to me. And I just think it's just as funny as hell. And so, yeah, that relationship, I've gotten a great deal of joy out of working with both of those individuals, but really watching those two interact and engage, it's a hoot for me.
I distinctly remember Mary once saying that she would eat dessert for every meal of the day. And so sometimes, like whenever we would travel for conferences, because I've been to a few conferences with her, always dessert. She's always at the dessert table. And I think that that's one of those things that is just, oh, Mary. Oh, also, she's ruined brownies for me, because how am I supposed to eat any other brownies, Andy?
There was one story, it was also at earlier years when I was here, so it was a small party with some international students at Mary's house, and we all loved Mary's brownies. She makes the best brownie ever. So we wanted her to teach us how to make brownies, and then she showed us the recipe. And when she showed us how much sugar is supposed to be in there, and we were all in disbelief, and we were like, oh, can we negotiate this? This is a lot of sugar. And he said, no. You cannot negotiate this. And it took a lot of back and forth, and we secretly just put it last. And she saw it, she spotted it, and she's like, no, you need to add more, it's not enough. So she was very committed to her recipe, but her recipe was good. I don't have complaints of that.
Mary has a couple of quirks that, they bug me. And two in particular. One is she and Dave both are fabulous landscapists. They have created this amazing space in their backyard, and clearly I'm jealous and envious, but those are skills that I admire. So that's one quirk that I have. And the other one is, a lot of people talk about seeing the world, but Mary's out there actually doing it. She has made a commitment to seeing the corners of the world, and I'm frankly jealous of that. So both of those quirks annoy me greatly.
I know when I first met her, I didn't really understand. I'm not a birder, so I didn't understand her fascination with birds and birding. But at the same time, she takes these amazing photographs that I really appreciate those, but I don't always, I didn't understand at the beginning the idea that you would go on an entire trip just to look at birds. That felt a little quirky to me.
I'm not into bird watching, and so like when Mary posts pictures of birds and stuff on Facebook, oh Mary, it's the bird watching. Not something I would do, but that's cool for you.
Several years ago, she gave us several of her cards. She turned some of those pictures into like Christmas cards, and those are like prized cards that we very infrequently share out, because I think we only have just a few of them left. And is this worth a Mary card? I don't know if this situation's worth a Mary card, or my hope is that she can travel the world and just take pictures of birds, and just in a low stress, no email, not having to answer emails at 10 o'clock at night like she does.
What impact has Mary had on your life?
You should mention that Christmas party.
Oh, well, Rob and I were just talking the other day, and we were saying how really it was Mary that brought us together.
Mary and Dave had a Christmas party at their house, right?
Yeah.
And I remember Weiwei and I sat together talking most of the time, just the two of us. And
so we started talking more, and next thing we know, we started dating.
We talk a lot in our division about the wise women who guided and mentored some of us. Gwenda Rice, who was, I know, one of Mary's mentors as well. A lot of us talk about Gwenda. And I think of Mary that way. I think that she's someone who's going to leave a legacy, and that so many of us who will still be here will be better at our jobs and better people because of Mary.
This lab where we're taping is one of her legacies. the way that she's managed to transform media creation around here and inspire a lot of really, really neat youngsters to get into information technology.
In my opinion, Mary's legacy is one of a ton of students who learned a bunch of important things from her and are out there in the real world doing things and contributing to their communities and to their professions in ways that are very real and important and grounded in the values that she taught and that she taught us all. So Mary leaves a big legacy.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to do anything without being able to code. I mean, maybe that sounds overstating it, but really, I use it in instructional design. I use it in websites. Like I said, really, like 3 years ago, I was a dietitian, and now I can create a website. I really owe a lot of that to her, giving me the opportunities to do it, and then giving me good feedback and encouraging me. Even though that infographic thing I made was disgusting, she was like, "Wow, Amy, this is awesome. Good job." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep coding."
I really feel as though she has helped me achieve what I always wanted to do. I attribute that greatly to Mary.
I love you, Mary Bucy. You're awesome. We'd hide a body for you, and we know that, we've indicated that many times, and we're glad that you haven't had to call us on that promise, but it always stands. We're big fans of Mary Bucy.
I wish Mary many grandbaby cuddles, many extravagant bird watching trips. I think that's what birders do.
I just really hope she gets all the time to spend with her amazing family. I've always admired her family and the relationship she has with them.
And get the pictures of the birds she likes and go hiking and do the things that she loves doing. And that retirement, even though it didn't come up quite how she anticipated, I hope that it will be more than she's dreamt of.
Happy retirement, Mary.
Oh,
Hedgehog says it too.